Hey guys, we're going to start with part 4 this morning for NBA 2K15. So, here we go.
Welcome everyone to the NBA on 2K Sports. With Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Doris Burke will be along too from the sideline. Last game for the Warriors, they pick up the W against the Dallas Mavericks.
I thought the way they attacked the rim and got into the...
Let's see what you got, son.
Oh, I got plenty.
And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Here's Schroeder, guarded by Kerr. Schroeder passes to Korver. The Hawks working the ball around. Carroll for three. And yes, sir, that one drops. Carroll's got himself going there. His first points of the game. And the Monsters subbed in for Atlanta. And we saw him out here a while back. Had to fight to get his shot, but he impressed the team enough to get another 10-day contract.
Well, you know, you have to take it a step at a time if you're in his situation. And as much as he'd like to start celebrating, he needs to keep his focus and continue to find ways to help his team out.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
That's how you make it happen, guys. Ball pressure and then a run out.
And those are the kind of plays that will turn that deficit into a lead quickly. So solid defense on the ball, that's the key. Well, Klay Thompson, the son of former #1 draft pick Michael Thompson, but totally different games. His father was a big man who played inside. Klay, a swing man, just a knockdown shooter from deep.
1:27 left in the first quarter. Here's the Monster. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Washington. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. The score now all even. Iguodala's got 5 now. And Atlanta has possession. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And as strange as it sounds, that game was a confidence builder for them because they really didn't have it that night at all and still managed to keep it close.
Steve, I think they're one of the few teams that can play that poorly but still almost come away with a win.
Well, no question, Clark. They're riding a huge wave of momentum after a furious run.
Well, they took their bumps and lumps earlier but dusted themselves off, and now they're fighting back.
Here's Hernandez. Connects from three-point range. The Monsters got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. The Warriors have gotten 7 of their first 16 field goal attempts to go down here in the first. Curry dishes to Barnes. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Hawks shooting 39% in the early minutes of this game. Here's Hernandez. The offensive rebound. Horford kicks to Millsap. Here's Hernandez. It's another look, and Horford finishes inside. Horford's got his first basket of the night.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out. That's the results you get right there.
Neither team able to build each point as we start the second quarter. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, Steve, Clark, your thoughts?
And I'm just so impressed with the long-range shooting. They have really lit it up from outside.
Yeah, the sharp shooting from deep, a big part of their lead, and they're playing with confidence and shooting it well.
And Golden State looking at who they've got. Barnes and Green, the forward tandem. Rush out there with Livingston, and it's Bogut in at the center. And he can't bank that one in. The Hawks leading by 3. Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Well, guys, Kyle Korver, of course, one of the league's most dangerous shooters. He said three-point shooting had better be the best part of my game. But if that's all you do, you don't get to play that much in the NBA. I try and be solid all around. I enjoy basketball and not just shooting. Kevin, he's a gamer.
He comes from a basketball family, Doris. Has that deep love of the game. You can just tell. Thanks. Clock at 6. The drive by Green. The dish to Barnes. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Schroeder, he's checked in for the Monster.
Dennis Schroeder.
The Warriors have gone 7 of 16, shooting just under 50% here in the second quarter. Curry. Here's Lee. Great tee that time from Hernandez. Atlanta's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. 6 of 15. Jacks up a three. That's good. The Monsters got 6 in the quarter.
He's starting to heat up from outside. That's his third for the game, his second in this quarter.
It's Curry with the drive. Here's Lee. Breaks it off the glass. Lee's got 5 now.
Boy, he crashed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Here's Hernandez. Jailed from three-point land.
And if their last 5 makes, all have been from long range.
Yeah, and the defense has not done a good job of pressing in and denying. I mean, they're hanging back, playing on their heels. They're not being the aggressors here, and the offense is taking advantage of it.
And that one's good. 11 points in the game.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
He got it up. Got it off in time, but it's no good.
Yes, Kevin, here with Stephen Curry.
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. To start with, we were sharp from long range offensively, both in terms of decision-making and execution. But still, I don't want to become dependent on the three-point shot. If it's there, fine, but let's not force it. Now I'll give credit where credit is due. We've taken very good care of the basketball. Turnovers were scarce, and we need to keep it that way. And in terms of pace, I'd like to see us calm it down once the third gets started. We shouldn't be in any kind of rush. We know we're up against a tough team tonight. Let's show them we're just as tough.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Looking at the game for the Monster, 12 points and 1 rebound. He's knocking down threes as effectively as twos, and that's saying something.
Yeah, because he's been good all over the floor. So valuable to this offense.
Millsap at power 4.
It's go time. Check it.
Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone.
You look at how efficient David Lee is around the basket. He can go over either shoulder and use either hand to score. Broke his wrist in high school, and it's part of the reason why he's been able to develop that offhand so well.
Well, with David Lee and his broken wrists, often having a setback like that in an early age, Clark in disguise, and he is definitely one of the most skilled scorers with his offense.
Yeah, he does a really good job as an ambidextrous finisher. And it really puts the defender in a pickle because oftentimes as a defender, you want to try to take away one side or the other. With David Lee, you pretty much just have to try to square him up.
Hernandez checked in for Schroeder. Warriors have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Livingston passes to Thompson. And it's good, assisting on the play with Livingston. Livingston's got 3 assists tonight.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Here's the Monster. 12 points for him. Shoots. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
That's a shot that he sometimes struggles with, but you can't fault him for taking it when the defense backs off like that.
Barnes with it. He's picked up by Milson. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. A three-pointer is right on target. And it's a 5-point Warrior lead. Atlanta's gotten the three-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Passes to Hernandez to stop the run. The Warriors pull it in.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
And it's Thompson with the jam.
Good work to tack some more points onto this lead.
Those are the kind of possessions they can build on and begin here.
There's 1:17 left here in the third quarter. Here's Hernandez. Off target from three-point range.
He's really slowed down a bit here in the second half. He hasn't converted a three yet after the tremendous first half he had.
Nobody near Barnes. And another three for Golden State.
Their advantage, guys, starting to climb a little bit. Things are really coming together for them at a great time.
They don't want to let it get too late to increase that lead. Best to do it here in the third.
No good from Hernandez.
Kevin, not a single point in this quarter for him. Obviously, not what they need right now. He's got to score.
Thompson outside. Doubled by Hernandez. 6 to shoot. Thompson dishes to Livingston. No good.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
Here's Hernandez. And not a good shot for him. They can get better looks than that.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd certainly call it a mismatch, Steve, at least for today.
Livingston, that's good.
That's how you have to attack the double team. Find the open man, get the ball out of your hands.
Here's Hernandez. And right away, they match it with a three-pointer of their own. Well, Monsters got 15 points. Mike Scott's checked in for Korver. Cephalosha comes in for Shelvin Mack. And the Monsters subbed in for Schroeder. Barnes, he's checked in for Golden State. And Golden State looking at who they've got. Green at the 4 with Lee at the 5. One out the wings, it's Iguodala and Barnes. And it's Curry in at the point guard position. Back to Iguodala. Launches a 3. Good. And the Warriors lead by 17.
Well, this is going to end in a lopsided victory, obviously. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness and the ability to close. You really have to give it up for the Warriors.
Clark, look at their number of assists.
Well, they minimized the one-on-one situations, Kevin. They got the ball moving, and it found the open guy.
Great ball movement, you're right. And so looking at their number, this will be win number 22 on the year.
A little bit closer to the win now, and they'll be halfway to a sweep of the season series once they wrap this one up.
That's right. It's just a two-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 that they had tonight.
You look at the stats, and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for Curry. And a big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving and finding guys when they would flash open.
Harold Antich, he's checked in for the Hawks. Shelvin Mack comes in for Damari Carroll. Then for the Warriors, Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Lee. Rush comes in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Barnes kicks to Livingston. Poked loose. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here.
16 seconds on the shot clock. 16.
So we see the...
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with
UGLY.
Man, ugly doesn't even begin to describe what happened out there.
What would you call it?
Sorry, pathetic, garbage, embarrassing.
Just gotta let it go. Get back at it tomorrow. Study some film, see what we did wrong, hit the weight room, get some treatment, make up for the next time out.
Good idea. The quicker we get back out there, the quicker we can leave this nightmare behind us. Let's hit it.
NBA on 2K Sports. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. This is Kevin Harlan. And so for the Grizzlies, their last game, a loss to...
Let's go. You're in.
Dang, about time.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll, and it's Schroeder in at the point. Lee goes in, and that one hits back iron.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get too many better looks from that range.
Hernandez checked in for the Hawks. And now a glance at the 2K leaderboard with the list of the NBA's top assist men over the past 10 games. Michael Conley is second.
Just dropping dimes these recent stretch of games.
No good from Hernandez.
Hawks coach Mike Budenholzer grew up around the game. His father coached high school and college basketball for 25 years, and Mike got into coaching pretty much immediately after graduating from college. Sounded like a guy who knew what he wanted to do.
He dishes it to Korver. Millsap a screen on Lee. Picked by Horford. Here's Hernandez. Bangs home the trifecta.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a nice look.
Poor job by the defender to not fight over or around that screen.
Conley dishes to Lee. Randolph against Millsap. Randolph's shot is good.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
1:19 left in the first quarter. Here's the monster. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Golden State. And here we go. Lee heading to the hoop. Rips down the breakaway slam.
I'd say that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, it sure did. A good job getting it started and a better job finishing it off.
And it's out of bounds to the Hawks as Atlanta retains possession.
A nice play to get a hand on that pass and tip it out of bounds.
I tell you what, guys, if he gets there a fraction earlier, that's a steal.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Kufis checked in for Gasol. Allen comes in for Zach Randolph. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. Then for the Hawks, Mike Scott's checked in for Millsap. Cephalosha comes in for DeMar Carroll. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. That's good. Allen's got his first 2 points of the night.
That time the defenders were a little lazy getting to him.
Here's Hernandez. And he knocks down the jumper. 26 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Tipped away. Outside, Scott. From deep. Expanding his range. And he drops it in. Just a pretty release there from Hernandez. The Monsters got 8.
The lead changes hands once again. There's been no separation between these two teams tonight.
What an intriguing basketball game, that's for sure.
And plenty of contact on the shot. So, 2 free throws coming up. The Grizzlies have shot 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. That free throw, no good.
2 shots.
He hits the second from the line. Just 4 seconds left here in the first quarter. Here's Bazemore. Some great action here early as we end the first quarter. Clark in a tie. Quickly for the start of the second quarter. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. What stands out to you from the Grizzlies in this one?
And the defense has been key in building this lead. They've really clamped down hard.
They've done a nice job, Steve. I think challenging every shot, a hand up on every shot.
Carter is out there with Tayshaun Prince. Then there's Allen. And it's Udrich. And it's Kufis in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies.
Didn't really try to take on the D by himself. I like that. Very unselfish play. Al Horford, 6'10", 250. Really a natural power forward who's been asked to play at center for his whole career. He's shown himself willing to battle bigger players inside, but you got to think he'd welcome a chance to switch back to the 4 spot.
Here's Kufis. Missed it. Even after all those chances, the Hawks leading, and they're pushing it up. The shot's good from Hernandez.
You got to like his shot selection today. He set a good example for the rest of his teammates.
For Memphis, they've gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter. 0 for 5.
And for Horford, able to scrap inside to overcome his lack of size defensively, his quickness is his biggest advantage. I mean, he's excellent at moving in space and defending the pick and roll.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Yes, Kevin, Memphis coach Dave Yeager paid dues for years coaching in the minor leagues. But he did more than coach. He was the GM, ticket vendor, business manager, and halftime act. He said he loved the passion and spirit of that work, but there were also tough times. Guys, those struggles helped prepare him for where he is today.
A long road, but he's here now. Thanks, Doris. You're talking about Horford's advantages playing center. Certainly his offensive skills among those advantages.
Yeah.
And so that's the end of the first half. Hawks.
Okay, that was some strong work in the first half. Let's talk about what we got to do to keep this crowd out of the game. These are the types of halves where we are helping ourselves out by making clean passes. They haven't caused us too many problems in the passing lanes to this point, but we still have a half of basketball to play. But we did get a nice lift off the bench in that half.
We'll get back to the action now. It's been a one-team show.
Get up. You're going in.
Here we go.
The Grizzlies trail by 13. On the court right now for the Hawks. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll. And it's Schroeder in at the one spot. Nice shot by Randolph. The Hawks shooting straight 49% from the field. Into Millsap. It's tipped. Horford the pass to Hernandez. Hits it from three-point range. The Monsters got 15.
So hard to try to play defense with the height mismatch out there that's on the perimeter. And they gave up the three-pointer.
Randolph sets a screen for Conley. Millsap against Randolph. Carter up top. Uncovered. And it's Memphis with another. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Passes it to Hernandez. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
So that's a problem he has. I mean, not being able to knock down that open jumper. I think it happens far too often.
Conley into the lane. Randolph throws it down with the quick putback jam.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. Gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them.
He tries for 3. No good from Hernandez. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Conley with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Gasol setting the pick for Carter. Here's Randolph. Horford with the block. Here's Gasol. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. Here's the Monster.
You know, the Grizzlies are the kind of team that perhaps fans around the league can overlook or undervalue or even forget about at times, but they're always going to be there because they're tough, they're physical, and they're talented.
The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to Golden State.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. They weren't getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking. No ball movement. Very stagnant performance.
Yeah, I agree. The reason for that, I think, was their movement away from the ball. Not very crisp.
Well, we're into the third quarter. Just over 2.5 minutes played. The Grizzlies have gone 5 of 7 from the field in the third quarter. Let's see if they can keep it up. Gasol kicks to Conley. Again, Memphis.
One of the reasons they're behind is because we haven't seen enough of that. He needs to become a bigger part of the offense.
Hernandez passes to Korver. That one goes. Count. Korver's got his third basket of the night.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
And it's Conley penetrating. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, you know, for teams in the NBA nowadays, it's all about getting bang for your buck. I mean, Mike Conley out of Ohio State, one of the great value contracts in the league, and with all the analytics and general managers looking for value, Memphis happy to have an all-star caliber player like him still locked up through 2016.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
Right side, Randolph. Down low, Udrih. Horford with the rebound. Horford's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And you have to give Mike Conley, Steve, an awful lot of credit for the emergence of the Grizzlies, I think, is a factor in the Western Conference.
Kevin, I think he's one of the best point guards in the league. Probably doesn't get enough credit, but his progression as a player at both ends, year after year, he just seems to get better, and he provides that poise and leadership that his club needs.
And keeping us updated from 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Carter is out there with Allen. Then it's Lee, and it's Udrih, and it's Conley in at the point guard. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. The pass to Hernandez. Three-pointer. Here's Schroeder, and he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Well, it's a wrap, fellas. There's no way you come back in this one.
Not anymore. Any chance of that happening went out the window a while ago.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Marcus Gasol is checked in for Allen. Randolph comes in for Beno Udrih. And Tayshaun Prince subbed in for Courtney Lee. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Hernandez. There's the double team with Randolph. And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession.
I tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Stolen. Here's Mack. Passes it to Hernandez. Takes a three. And he gets the bucket.
And a terrific run to really put this ball game away.
And now let's see how many more points they can throw up there before the horn sounds.
A three off the inbound. No good there. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business.
Thank you, Kevin. Paul, what was this team's attitude coming into tonight's game?
Well, we knew coming in.
Surprised it's raining right now.
The Rook came to play tonight, boy.
Yeah, I'm hungry, yo. Feed me the rock, and I'm gonna carry your sorry butt to the finish line.
Easy, young stallion. Ain't nobody gonna carry me anywhere. But keep taking shots in the rhythm of the offense, and we'll be good. When we're ourselves, it's impossible to be anybody else.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I'm just playing with you anyway. Really, I'm just happy to contribute to the W.
That's what I'm talking about right there. If we need you to score like you did tonight, look for your shot. We need you to luck down a fool on D, you do that. Keep thinking like that, and we're going to be tough to beat.
Man. Hey, let's get out of here. I got some celebrating to do.
You know it, and we got a little tradition around here. First time a rookie fills the scoring column in a legit way, he springs for a night out with the boys. Wash up and make sure you get some cash in the wallet.
Hold on, boo. Why haven't I heard about this until now?
Because all rookies are on a need-to-know basis. You had a big night, now you need to know.
All right, man.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr with Doris Burke on our sideline. Last outing for Minnesota, they won them. About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
You know, the issue really with Atlanta this year and moving forward isn't that they're a bad team. They've just been kind of stuck in that middle road of mediocrity. They're competitive, play hard. They're hoping to find a way to get to the next level now.
On the court right now for the Hawks. Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. On the wings, Korver and Carroll, and it's Schroeder in at the one spot. Hernandez checked in for Atlanta. Let's find out what for us.
Hi, guys. I had a chance to find out what Mike Budenholzer was discussing with his guys. He said the most important thing today is creating good looks for their shooters, finding the open space on the perimeter, and capitalizing on it. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. So still in the opening quarter, and already some adjustments being made. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
And with Atlanta, as you said, for a while now they've been a playoff caliber team, but making that next step into the elite class of the East has been hard.
Millsap a screen. Hernandez passes to Korver. Shot clock at 6. No good from Hernandez. And some of it, Clark, for Atlanta making the jump is personnel. It's never easy to get a franchise player without a high draft pick.
And in that sense, Kevin, they are a bit in danger of becoming a treadmill team. They have a good base right now, and I think they just need to continue to keep adding talent and have the talent they have continue to develop.
From deep. The rebound by the Timberwolves. Victory eluded them last time in Atlanta when they faced the Hawks.
And what caused them to lose that last matchup was the mistakes. I mean, they just committed too many turnovers, and they were sloppy with the ball, and that's why they lost. He still couldn't finish, even though it looked like he had a lane to the rim, but too often that's the story for him.
Pass to Korver. Here's the monster, covered by Martin. Hernandez knocks down the 3-ball. The monster's got his first 3 points of the game. And sloppy play to be avoided at all costs.
Kevin, just take care of the ball. That's what you want to tell them. Just take care of the ball. Don't throw weak passes. Don't be careless. Don't telegraph your passes. If you keep your focus mentally, you won't make those kinds of careless mistakes. Well, they've yet to string many stops together.
Just seems like they've been a step slow here.
Kicks it to Korver. Millsap a screen on Martin. Off the pick. The shot's good from Hernandez. The Monsters got 5 points so far.
Boy, I like how Paul Millsap used his body to get into the defender there.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And Rubio kicks to Martin. And he banks in the layup. He's got 8.
Very positive opening quarter for them. The shots have been falling.
You know, the shooting percentage would be nice if it stayed right there, but that's going to be tough to do.
He gets it up. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. So. Welcome back, folks. We'll see you. Now for Minnesota. Young's checked in for Jang. Wiggins comes in for Corey Brewer. Levine's checked in for J.J. Barea. And Ricky Rubio is subbed in for Mo Williams. We've got Young. Ricky Rubio is out there with Levine. Then it's Wiggins. And it's Bennett in at the 5 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Levine. He had 10 points in the win against Detroit. There's the triple. And it's Young. That time on the assist by Wiggins. And that's 10 points here for Thaddeus Young.
Thaddeus Young is a left-hander out of Georgia Tech. Only played 1 year in college and has really rounded into a nice pro. He's a very unique player. He's a face-up, slashing power forward with a lightning-quick first step. And he's really hard to keep in front.
And the basket by Rubio. Rubio's got 6 points.
Guys, that time he went for the fancy finish for us there, man. That was sweet.
Here's Hernandez. Offline with his 3.
And are they ever working inside? Good job on the glass.
Excellent job on the glass, Steve. I agree. I mean, they're battling in there. They're fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing, and they're getting the job done.
A large part of what they've been able to do here is centered around his offense.
The Hawks trail by 9. From deep. Minnesota with the rebound. Wiggins has got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense.
Rubio the pass to Levine. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. 5 on the clock. Kicks it out to Rubio. A 3 ball. Here's Bennett. Well, it was only a matter of time that they finally get the bucket. Bennett's got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves. Here's Millsap. The good-looking shot from the wing. Millsap's got 8 points.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given.
And that concludes the first half. Minnesota on top. Up.
All right, we've got some work to do, but it's not too late. Let's put our stamp on the second half. Now a few things.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
And what a game for Young.
Some changes for Minnesota. Corey Brewer's checked in for Wiggins. Barea comes in for Kevin Martin. And Mo Williams subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And then for Atlanta, Scotty's checked in for Millsap. Cephalosha comes in for Damari Carroll. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. On the court for Atlanta, Mike. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then there's Dennis Schroeder. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3 slot. And he sinks the second.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Gentlemen, as you know, Andrew Wiggins was taken as the first overall pick of a talented 2014 class, but should have no problem with the pressure. He's been hyped as the next big thing for quite some time. He said, I think playing at Kansas really prepares you for this. You're basically treated like a rock star wherever you go. I think that really translates to the NBA. Gentlemen?
Unlimited potential, Doris. Thank you very much. Here's Schroeder, guarded by Barea. Here's Hernandez. Good on the triple. The Monsters got 13 points. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now.
Well, certainly a story here at the Target Center is the ongoing $100 million renovation to the building. Split 50-50 between the team and the city of Minneapolis. And that's great news for Timberwolves. The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
A minute 50 left in the third quarter of the game. Lets it fly. And Atlanta again with the bucket.
And you look at the long list of improvement for the Target Center. New lobbies, new box office, renovated locker rooms, new clubs and gathering areas. Seems like they're getting great bang for their buck.
Williams. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
You know, he was smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Agreed. As long as he picks his spots, his outside shot will be hard to block, no matter who's on it.
Hernandez passes to Cephalosha. And Jang with the block.
You know, they've built their lead here by doing all the little things well.
And one of those things has been rebounding, Clark, because they have really come out and taken control of the boards.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Timberwolves.
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin. Closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
And guys, I think you've got to give them credit for the number of steals they've taken away. I mean, a lot of effort on the defense from them tonight.
The shot's good from Hernandez. And guys, it can be tough to see teams pressuring cities for new arenas. Nice that the Timberwolves can stay put and still get those improvements.
Absolutely, Kevin. You know, this building is good bones, a great location, so it's a pleasure to see the transformation they're making here. And we're already starting to see some of the results there.
Deflects the pass, and as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here.
Boy, that pass was in the air a long time.
Long enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
For the Hawks, Millsap comes in for Scott, and Max subbed in for Schroeder. The Atlanta Hawks coming to this one after the win against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
And they did just what you have to do as a road team, guys. They never allowed any momentum to build up against them. It seemed like every time they took a punch, they had a counter.
You'll like this, Steve. Reverse spurtability, we call that. If they had any defensive lapses, they immediately made up for it with some instant offense.
Here's Hernandez. And it's off from three-point range. Williams with the ball. 8 points for him. 3 seconds left. And he lays it up and in. And it's a 12-point Timberwolves lead.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. That's not an individual match.
Minnesota making some changes. J.J. Barea's checked in for Jack. Bean comes in for Thaddeus Young. And Mo Williams subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Atlanta also making some changes here. Al Horford, he's checked in for Corver. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. And it's Dennis Schroeder in for Matt. Martin is out there with J.J. Barea. Then it's Wiggins. Then there's Mo Williams. Bean at the shooting guard position. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. And some changes here for the Timberwolves. Zhang comes in for J.J. Barea. And it's Young in for Levine. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Hernandez checked in for Dennis Schroeder. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Hey, Kev. Well, during that last break, I heard Flip Saunders addressing his team. He was propping his guys up for their defensive pressure, saying, listen, the pressure you put on them has been fantastic. Keep pestering them, keep forcing turnovers, and we'll be in a great position to win this thing.
Second three-pointer of the half, 4th overall. So he's having a nice game from outside.
We've got 1:55 left in the 4th quarter. Young. Paul Millsap with the rebound. Millsap's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Well, I guess they can get them when they need them. That's a good job of getting to the miss.
The three from Cephalosha. Another three for Atlanta.
With the success they've been having from the three-point line since halftime, I'll bet you that scoreboard starts to look a lot different real soon.
Of course, they have to stay hot, but if they do, I think you're right, Clark, particularly if they can convert defense into offense.
Williams dishes to Young. 4 on the clock. Millsap with the steal. And here's the fast break. Cephalosha leading the way. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Beautiful work in the transition game.
That's how to do it. Attack early before the defense can get itself set.
Williams attacking. Thaddeus Young on the wing. Outside Williams. He dishes it to Zhang. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Over Horford. And Dang gets it to go.
Clock ticks down, and this is going to be a solid victory here for the Timberwolves.
2 great rebounding teams, Clark.
Yeah, and these guys just worked
For the Timberwolves, J.J. Barea's checked in for Young. Bean comes in for Wiggins. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Kevin Martin. Mike Scott's checked in for the Hawks. The Monster comes in for DeMarre Carroll. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. No good from Hernandez. Minnesota's gotten off 4 three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Rubio outside. Feeds it to Zhang. Rubio outside. And Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. Last outing for Atlanta.
All right, you're up.
The Hawks leading. They set the screen. Millsap a screen on Rondo. Here's Schroeder. Nice teamwork to set up the big play and make the space for the J.
Well, the history of college coaches switching over to the NBA is pretty daunting. But Brad Stevens and the Celtics before him, he's just got to be himself. And he was well regarded in Boston. Despite the fact that they went through a rebuilding process last year, he did a really good job.
Hernandez checked in for Atlanta. Here's Sullinger. Goes up with it again. And he lays it up and in. Sullinger's got his first basket.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
And Coach Stevens enjoying great success in his 5 seasons as coach of the Butler Bulldogs.
Yeah, had a terrific, historic run. 2 consecutive trips to the NCAA title game. 2010 and 11, I had the privilege to be courtside calling those games. A 25-game win streak, one of the brightest minds in the game. And with the 6-year contract from the Celtics, they clearly believe in his abilities, as do I.
Carroll passes to Hernandez, trying his luck deep. Offensive rebound. Here's Millsap, and it's rejected.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
Here's Hernandez. Here's Korver. Dishes to Horford. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Horford's got 6.
He's definitely got that shot in his arsenal.
Rondo kicks to Sullivan, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
yes,
you?
Sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing. This quarter has not been his best. The defense may be starting to affect him a little bit.
Rondo kicks to Green. Knocks it loose, and that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Brandon Bass is checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Wallace comes in for Sullinger. Evan Turner, he's checked in for Green. And Smart subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Atlanta also making some changes here. Mike Scott's checked in for Millsap. Cephalosha comes in for Damari Carroll. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Kyle Korver. The Celtics have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
Yeah, they've just been an ordinary team in terms of free throw shooting this year, guys. About 75%.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
Here's Scott, averaging 6 points per contest. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. The Hawks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Well, they're doing okay as the season goes on. They're shooting about 76% as a team.
Guys, their free throw shooting has slipped a bit since last year, but not really to the point where they should be overly concerned about it.
Now here's Smart. Tight defense on him. To the right side. Plenty of space. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Oh, that's a frustrating one there. Easy look at the hoop.
Quarter just getting set to start. Well, from what you guys are seeing from the Hawks, what are you thinking about their performance?
Pretty good start defensively. This club forced some mistakes and took advantage, and that's how they built this lead.
And they built the lead because not only have they forced turnovers, but they've taken care of the ball themselves. So that's a winning combination.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Hernandez, he's in at point guard. Horford is out there with Scott. Then it's Thabo Cephalosha, and it's Bazemore at the shooting guard position. Celtics trail by 5.
You know, Boston has shown they're a team that's not afraid to make a deal with one of their stars if they think it's going to benefit the team. And quite often, those deals have worked out for them.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. When former college coach Brad Stevens came in to coach the Boston Celtics, some worried that he'd have a tough time winning over headstrong point guard Rajon Rondo. But the two hit it off. Rondo said they become best friends, adding, "We talk every day. We laugh and joke. He has my full support. I'm behind him 100%. Kevin?
Rondo keeping an open mind and making himself accountable to Stevens' vision, Doris. Thanks. Tries it from 9. It will go down, and the Hawks lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from Banks.
Look how well he led him there with that pass. As you said with Boston, it's an attitude that most teams would like to have, but many just can't really stomach the idea of parting with an all-star. Celtics have shown he can do that.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Savage, that's the way to get some momentum on your side.
Absolutely. Those dunks can really have a deflating effect on the defense.
Especially coming from a guy out of the backcourt.
Well, for the Celtics, it's worked out quite a bit in the franchise's history, from getting guys who perished to making the moves for Kevin Garnett when he was there.
And, you know, it might result in some hard transition years like this one, but there is a reason why the Celtics are never out of it for too long. And doing whatever it takes to improve the team is part of the history of that franchise.
You know, passing the ball well on the perimeter has really opened things up offensively for this club.
Steve, it makes the game easy. I mean, 10 straight points off assists. That's impressive, but it's easy when you move the ball.
That's number 2 for him from long range in this quarter, his 3rd overall.
Smart kicks to Bradley. He feeds it to Smart. Fires the 3. Scott pulls it in. Scott's got his 3rd rebound tonight. The pass to Hernandez. Shoots a 3. And the basket good. Now it's a 5-point Hawks lead.
He is bombing it today. How many more threes are we going to see from him?
Well, we've already seen plenty. The majority of his points have come on that shot.
On the wing, Turner. Sefolosha with the steal. And here's the fast break. Sefolosha leading the way. Pass to Hernandez from outside the arc. Rebound by Wallace. The Celtics have gone 5 of 7 from the field here in the second. And slam dunk by Smart. Boy, look at the big ups, Clark.
Major bounce there. I mean, he can fly, folks. Really fly.
And we're seeing more and more of that, it seems, guys, out of the point guard spot in the NBA these days.
And a new group in for the Celtics. Kelly Olynyk checked in. And that concludes the first half.
Okay, guys, solid play so far. I like what I'm seeing. But just a few things to talk about before the second half. First of all, a big nod to...
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. We've seen the...
All right, you're up.
The Hawks leading by 5. The skilled front court of Jared Sullinger and Kelly Olynyk. At the 2 and 3, it's Avery Bradley and Jeff Green. And it's Rondo in at the point guard position. That's who's in the game for the Celtics. The offensive rebound. The dish to Korver. Pass to Schroeder. Horford with the screen on Rondo. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Korver. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. Korver's got the lead up to 7 now for the Hawks. Hernandez checked in for Atlanta.
Up the story on Rajon Rondo. This past month, he's really set himself apart. You see how he matches up numbers-wise. 6th in assists. And defensively, he's been really good. He ranks in the top 20 in the league in steals.
And, you know, looking again, Steve, at his place among the top 10 assist men, he's been providing a lot of room service dimes to his teammates, and I hope they appreciate it.
Shot's good from Hernandez.
Yes.
Rondo with it. 8 points for him. 3-point shooting perhaps never more valued, Clark, than it is right now in the NBA. Kyle Korver, such a great signing for the Hawks.
Yeah, really a good one. I mean, his contract is front-loaded, running through 2017 for around the mid-level exception, and quite honestly, he's worth every penny, not just because of his laser shooting ability. But he's a hard-nosed, tough guy, professional in every way, and he just brings a winning presence to whatever team he's on.
Says he learned a lot of his basketball acumen from his mom, who was a terrific player.
No question.
The Hawks leading by 7. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hi, Doris.
Well, Kevin, Rajon Rondo has gone from the young star understudy to the leadership role. Former teammate The Truth, Paul Pierce, said Rondo is mature. He understood what was coming. Before he had me and KG to lean on. Now he's the guy. He's the captain. I think he's ready. A great endorsement from a terrific leader in his own right. Gentlemen.
High praise, Doris. Thanks. Just 4 to shoot. Count the bucket. Bradley's got 5.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Hawks passing it around. Millsap against Sullinger. Tries a 3, and the 3 is knocked down. Deep ball good, and a nice shot from Hernandez.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the 3 ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
Rondo's shot is good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Here's Hernandez. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. Rondo with the ball. Now defended by Hernandez. Green kicks to Sullinger. Shot from 12. And another basket for Boston.
Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
For Boston, they come into this one following a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks.
And I think the sort of issues they had on defense, in part at least, was a bigger factor. Really compounded, I think, because it was on the road. You have to be sharper when you go out and play as a visitor.
Yeah, everything has to be tight. You can't be loose in any aspect of your game. You're fighting against the crowd and the opponent. You've got to be tougher mentally and physically if you're going to win on the road.
Puts it up from 15. Nice jump shot. Good. And that's now 10 points for Al Horford.
Now, the defense just couldn't get a hand in his face. Couldn't challenge the shot.
Yeah, made his height advantage count that time.
Sullinger with the bucket.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
Shot's good from Hernandez.
And he continues to shoot well after that blazing first half.
Celtics trail by 6. Rondo drives in. Sullinger dishes to Rondo. 1:21 left to play in the third. That's good.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
Here's Hernandez. You know what? And it's Boston the other way. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
Yeah, they really had their number in that game. Big margin of victory for them. They got there by really including their bench. The depth became a major factor. They just wore them down.
And Carroll gets it to go. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Hawks.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And the other thing they're doing, Clark, is scoring a lot of points off turnovers, forcing mistakes and cashing in.
What Steve just talked about regarding how much they spread their scoring around was probably the most striking thing about that big win.
And the fact that they did have such a huge lead allowed them to even use their bench a little more than normal. And that was something that served them well.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Kicks it to Horford. There's the pass to Hernandez. There's the 3. Here's Horford. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Now it's a 7-point Hawks lead.
Perseverance paying off on the offensive boards, guys.
And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well as we head to the fourth. Hawks lead by 7. Don't go anywhere. And so it's the Hawks taking care of
You know, life's a funny thing.
Whatever you say, boss.
A couple of months ago, I never even heard of you. A few weeks ago, I was certain you were a one-and-done guy. You know, have your cup of coffee in the bigs, and then disappear, never to be heard from again.
And now?
Now, well, now I'm going to tell you that I was wrong not to draft you, and I was silly to offer you only a 10-day contract, and you know, I was mistaken to think you were only here to have a cup of coffee.
So, you saying what I think you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying we're offering you a guaranteed contract for the rest of the season.
Heck yeah! Man, that's what I'm talking about right there. Thanks, you're not gonna regret this. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make this organization so proud.
Good. Listen, you got this opportunity because you've been working your tail off out there. You know, you keep doing what you're doing, and, you know, there's no limit to what you can achieve. You got it?
Yes, sir, I do.
Get out of here.
Thanks again.
Get out of here.
Welcome to the film room, everybody. Coach wanted me to give you all a little breakdown on some of the key points of emphasis strategies we'll be using moving forward. As you know, the entire staff feels it's important to review the basics from time to time, giving everyone a better understanding of what coach is expecting when you're out on the floor. It's going to help the team win more games. Simple as that. Now let's get to it, gentlemen. Getting to the basket and playing physical on defense. So here we go. Now there are times when coach is going to want us to really focus on getting to the basket. We have some talented players on this team who are capable of getting to the rim just about any time because of their ball handling, speed, and ability to finish inside. When we run into a team that has weak perimeter defenders or is not very good at defending the rim, coach is going to want us to go strong to the hoop whenever possible. Now let's take a look at some game film showing how we can try and get to the rim for some easy baskets. Okay, up next, playing physical. We got some very physical players who like to use their bodies against weaker, smaller teams. We should be looking to take advantage of those size and strength mismatches by wearing out our opponents over the course of the game. Now let's look at some film so you guys can see what playing physical on the defensive end looks like in action. Okay, that's going to do it for today. There's no excuse not to know what's expected of you when coach calls for either of these points of emphasis in a game. See you at practice.
You got it, coach.
That's fine. Guys, I'm on the live stream here. So, what?